How did you find the differences between working for yourself, like freelance, working in an agency, and also working in-house for someone? How did they vary?
I love agencies. So I think although the agency world is like, yeah, it's known for being quite full on. I love plugging myself into something and being like, okay, that's something I'm doing now, and there's unlimited amount of work basically I can do. I think in-house I've always struggled with. There's quite a lot of places that I went to that aren't on my LinkedIn profile that I didn't last at because it wasn't right at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I've traditionally struggled at quite a lot of in-house places where it's just not for me, and the culture is not quite right, and the pace isn't quite right.
Mm-hmm.
I think freelance, you've got, okay, I am chasing an invoice again, that sort of stuff, which sort of can drain the fun out of it a little bit. Like I remember I was chasing an invoice from a company for like months and months, and they paid me on Christmas Eve just randomly, and I'd given up. So there's stuff like that I really like earning money off my own back, and that's something I did up until about a couple of years ago in my spare time continuously, just to build up extra money. Agencies, yeah, love working in pretty much every agency I've been at, and it's always been like a good challenge. And then in-house is a bit different at Jack's Flight Club, I guess, because it was a subscription-based startup and we're all remote. And actually, I was a contractor. I wasn't actually properly employed there technically. So yeah, I think I like having a variety of things to do, and that matches agency and freelance a bit more than in-house for me.
Okay. Because one of the things that I find is that so for an oil and gas company, I was head of marketing and strategy for 2 years, give or take. But it doesn't matter what I came up with, it had to be signed off by the CEO and other people. And what always happened was they challenge you on everything, they water it down, and it was just a bit soul destroying. And then they say, oh, there's no money, there's no budget, and you're like, for fuck's sake. As when now, when you have complete control over whatever you want, I can say whatever I want. But I love the creative side and doing the InDesign, and I love that. And I think for me, it's when you get to work with really interesting people that as you go through your career, especially if you've got a little bit of, I call money oxygen, but when you've got money to burn, oxygen to burn, to really invest into a business, you get to, or the way I try and do it is to work with good people. But I say, look, Luke, you know what you're doing better than me. This is the vision. This is what we're trying to achieve. How do we do it? And then I'd be stupid to second guess that because you know it better than I do. Does that make sense?
It can be the bit of a difference between the agency and the client relationship is like, we are investing X amount in you as individuals and a team, and it's usually quite a lot of money, and you sometimes are given a bit more freedom because you're seen as this entity that is a separate brand that knows what they're doing in their specialism, and you're invested in that. When in your in-house, sometimes you might be in a position, particularly when they're digital, where you are an expert in something and you know more than your boss, but they're your boss still, so you get feedback and you have to kind of say, this is a bit awkward because they're your boss, but and obviously that comes down to management techniques and stuff like that. But that was something I found in-house, definitely.